Hey everyone, I've really been on the fence about the taillights on my M3 because I really like the current LCI taillights that I have. But after looking around and talking to a company called Euroactive Retrofits, I found a set that I really liked of the new GTS taillights. Ended up ordering it. Obviously, with COVID and everything, shipping took a little longer than expected, but looks like it finally arrived. So I'll get it inside, unbox them for you guys, give you kind of a first look, and hopefully get these on the car shortly. All right, so we got the taillights in. Let's open up the box and see what they look like. The foam in here is really nicely cut and is made to shape, so that helps a lot. Here's the taillights. They have another covering. I'll leave this on until I, kind of get them on the car, but you can really see that GTS look to them. Just open that one. Yeah, when all said and done, this is sort of how it will look. So I'm pretty excited about this, not gonna lie. So the lights themselves all are pretty much plug and play from what I'm told. So these are all the connections needed. There is wiring too, not quite sure what to do with that yet. So I'll post some videos on that too once I get them installed. Yeah, that. Okay, so the lights are in. Struggle with them a little bit, but I ended up figuring out how to do it. So I'm going to try and show you what I can. Right. So, and I'm going to use a flashlight. So this black piece here, this one, you actually have to have it on there when you mount them, and it has to be very low. Then, trying to show you again. In there, if you look, there's that black piece that I'm kind of shining the light on, that little tiny one. That has to go in. That's a separate hole that it mounts to. So unfortunately, during the install, I didn't realize it, but I ended up having some issues with the camera, and it cut out part of my install. So I'm going to try and kind of give you guys some of the call outs for the taillights, obviously after the lights were installed. So we'll start with this panel here. So when you're reinstalling it, this was a little bit of a pain to fully get back where it needs to be, and it's something pretty silly, and I'll try and show you. So let me just grab a light, grab a flashlight so you can see it better. So right underneath here, if you look there, there's these two handled areas that are meant for you to be able to kind of pull the trunk down. Those areas need to go in first when you're putting this back. So when you put those back in, then it's really easy to get the rest of it in, and they actually hold the whole thing in place. So what I did is I put those in, then put the screws that I have for the triangle holder in first. Now not everyone may have that, but I think there's screws there if you don't, and if not, just do two of your corners and it'll hold the rest of it in. Now additionally, on the lights that go on the movable part of the trunk, these have kind of a clamshell of sort brace that this goes in first. When you get that in, then there's also a tiny little tab here that also has to go in. That same tab exists on the back here as well, and that's what I was struggling with. And in the video, before it cut out, I did also call out that the screw part that you screw them back in, that actually has to be slightly tightened before you put them back on. Then let's talk about the other part of the taillights, these two. So these are mounted by two 10mm screws and some kind of pivot ball shape insert. So you just have to kind of wiggle them into place with that ball shape in first. Then you move them, so you push them in and you kind of scooch them back, and then at that point you tighten the two 10mm screws. Bolts, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the main call outs. The tails were a little, the wiring on them, on these isn't identical in terms of the harness's shape to what your OEM one is. So you may have to kind of push that out of the way a little bit to work for you. But yeah, I mean, other than that, they look great. Love them. Have had nothing but good compliments on them, and highly recommend them. And as you can see, I mean, the gaps are all really nice. But yeah, all in all, I'm super pleased with them and would highly recommend them to anyone else that wants them. But yeah, so again, just a few call outs. Again, sorry that the video cut out, but I tried to recap kind of some of the stuff I ran into for someone else who does this. Alright, so we're going to start off. With the sequence from pushing the key. So first I'm going to unlock it. Okay, locking it. Again, unlock. Okay, now I'm going to get in the car and actually turn the lights on. So I'll first lock it in the car and simply Gonna go from lights off to just lights on. Okay. Then getting in the car, and I'm gonna put on no lights, hazards. So again, lights off, hazards on. And now lights off, hazards on, and then now lights on and hazards on. Yeah, there you have it. Light sequence of the GTS taillights. Hope you enjoyed the video.